Welcome back to Breakfast Central. We're looking into the papers this morning and your opinion counts, or your opinions, as many as you have. Please join us via News Central Live on YouTube, where we're streaming. That was a mouthful. I wanted to say News Central Live on YouTube, yeah. We'll also be opening the phone lines, so you can call the numbers on your TV screen. But joining us is world-renowned journalist and public affairs analyst, our in-house person here, Habib Aruna. It's good to have you. Good morning.
A man I respect so much and hold very dear to my heart.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yes. Merry Christmas.
You guys are very brilliant.
Thank you very much.
I'm always happy to be here.
Thank you
So we're happy to have you.
Well, I mean, we're infectious like that.
Yeah.
We make your mood come alive. We're talking about coming alive. Let's go to our very first paper. This Nigeria, 2027, it's turn of the South, says ADC chieftain El Rufai. As opposition leaders warn of danger of one-party state, they are just blowing hot air. Presidency counters claim. 2025 budget, economists slam federal government's 39% implementation of capital allocation. ECOWAS cracks down on coup, reorders regional power structure. Rivers Ijaw People's Congress endorsed Tinubu for second term. Nigeria's middle class slips into poverty. Workers, professionals, entrepreneurs lament shrinking incomes, rising living costs. I'm going to start off with that story. Going to Mr. Habib Aruna, let's talk about the Nigerian middle class, of which many of us fall under that cadre.
Why
Big
you
problem.
now who fall inside middle class?
Olive.
Speak for yourself, oh. Is there still middle class?
I was thinking we should discuss the lead story.
Okay.
The lead story is prominent in all major opinion papers of today.
All right. I was going to leave the best for last, but it's fine. Let's go.
The ADC chieftains yesterday, and they expressed their reservation about the increasingly tight space in the country. Now Nigeria is heading towards a one-party state. That should be a worry to all of us.
Why so?
It should be a worry to all of us because...
What makes this time different from the PDP and Alliance for Democracy period in 1999? Because the PDP had no states.
And this is the first time in our political history, a checkered and fragile political history, that you have governors running among themselves, beating each other to join the ruling party. This is the first time you see the ruling party and the government in power, being very busy in meeting opposition governors and cajoling them, in quote, to join the party. The first president in this position is Obasanjo. Obasanjo was a military ruler. I can't remember Obasanjo threatening, blackmailing, intimidating opposition governors to join the ruling party.
Are you inferring that that's what is happening
when
now?
Obasanjo was in charge, there was opposition within his own party and in the parliament. But now, unfortunately, sadly, and worrisomely, there's no opposition in parliament. Even PDP in National Assembly is dead. I'm telling you, if today the president wants to have a third term, to be a safe, it will be passed immediately.
It will be like a bow and go.
On that papio. So what I'm saying is that what these people are saying, and that is why today's newspapers, that's the lead story in most of the papers, that we should be worried. This morning, in one of the papers, the governor of Taraba has joined the ruling party.
So how can we protect our democracy from this? Because these governors are acting unilaterally. And for them, they are seeking re-election, and that's the biggest prize. But the people still have the power, the electorate. So how does decamping guarantee them
the
a safe return?
The opposition is saying that EFCC and other agencies of government, they are now attacking dogs, attacking and trying to intimidate the opposition. Look at Malami, because he said he want to be the governor of Kebbi State. So when you add this together, you become worried that the president is saying that no.
No, but Malami was an APC minister.
The president is saying that, wait a minute, we are not involved. EFCC said we are not.
They're independent.
They're independent. So when you actually was everything together, people that have joined APC, where are they? They are sleeping well at night.
But if you use the Malami example,
yes.
It was a minister under an APC government. So, I mean, is that not APC?
What I'm saying is that Uli Ngige and Malami be would they have been invited, prosecuted today if they are still in the APC? That is the question. Because I've not seen any prominent member of APC being prosecuted. I belong by card carrying. I'm a member of APC, but I'm a student of history, and I'm Nigerian first and foremost. So I should be worried about the future. At my age, that my children are going to have a good future. And when you're talking about the middle
class,
the middle class, that's what happened during the time of Babangida. We only have the topmost class and the people at the lower there. So we should be worried. All of us should be worried that what is really going on? Is the space being well maintained? Is the government doing enough? And you see, when all these things, what do I say, the politics affect the economy? What cannot ask good question? Under the APC, 2015, 2015 to 2019, Ravi Sharaki was the Senate president. And the same party with the president.
And almost looked like an opposition.
Absolutely. And Nigeria was better for it. You see, the last time I checked, the meaning of SOP, separation of powers, is that the three organs of government, executive, legislature, and judiciary, to be dependent and interdependent for the benefit of the people. Once they are not dependent, and my brother, what do we have is tyranny. And what do we have is someone that is at the top, doing anything he wants to do without anybody calling him to order. So if you are not watchful, because you see, in life, if you are not vigilant, in democracy, freedom, if you are not vigilant, you take it away from you.
Just like energy, just like the former head of Nigerian Human Rights Organization talked about, Professor Chidi Odenkalu. He said this separation of powers, the fact that the FCT minister is always involved in judiciary, building judges' quarters, that maybe they should create a portfolio of Ministry of Judges' Welfare. Yes. To attach it to his portfolio as FCT minister.
It doesn't matter.
It's a big problem.
But that was there.
It's a big problem.
But they don't have all the power, all the authority, all the experience to do anything, But it was watchful, was careful. And the judiciary was also always interpreting the law. Yes, in line with the Constitution. But what we are seeing now is different. And we should be worried.
Okay.
That's why anytime we have these papers like Daily Trust, The Punch, I'm always happy. The papers they've been putting
the speak truth to power.
Yes.
Well, there's one that you also should be happy about, and that's got to do with the Vanguard.
But before we
exactly,
just remind our callers that our phone lines are officially open, and we want you to call and share your thoughts. Speak to any of the stories on the front pages, even if we haven't addressed it, and you'd like to share your thoughts on it. Please, the number to call is on your TV screen.
All right. Let's go to the Vanguard. It says, 2 former governors feeling insecurity. Finally, the man whom they said they've been looking for has the time, tenacity, the strength, the power, the ability and agility to do a video and send to the Nigerian people, despite having attacked them and carried out various attacks in the northern region. He says ex-governors responsible for long-running insecurity in North admits peace talks, denies 30 million naira payoff, beg your pardon. It's all lies, says governor sources. Security forces gunned down notorious bandit Kachala Nala in Sokoto. Well, let's look at this. Allegations of a terrorist. Imagine a terrorist is, of course, hogging the headlines this morning on the front page. There are images as well that we do have, videos of him talking. You'll find that videos on the screen shortly. He had taken time, he had a phone, he recorded himself, and whatever he said is out there on social media. He accused the former governor of Zamfara State, Bello Matawalle, who is now the Minister of State, and he talked about him, that they worked together, and then Senator Ahmed Yerima highlighted them. We've seen this play out in a wider spectrum, where people in power and oppositions, in positions rather, are fingered, pointed fingers, and they've said, oh, he was part of it. In this country as well, we've also seen where a former APC chairman and also a former governor was recorded by a broadcast service using a hidden camera where he was receiving cash, big cash, dollars, and putting it in his pocket and promising them that it's a done deal. Yet, it's like the country rewards negative over positive. What's your take on this?
the scenario just painted is melancholic. And there's a slough of despondency in it. Makes me really sad. Do you believe, if you are told that the government is not aware of what is going on, you believe it?
I don't believe it. I don't buy it.
You know, we haven't told us on report that even the Americans, they are now no longer comfortable in sharing intelligence with our government. So they're not sure of how it will be laid, who they will share it with. That's the problem. Look at what this man is saying. And the man is still in government. This same man that Vanguard was saying last week went to Mecca to pray. When Rome was built, was burning. You know, so these are the things.
After praying, he actually signed an MOU with the Saudi government.
Okay. Help us to secure our country.
On security, yes.
You know, so these are should be concern of us. And if you say we are fighting corruption, we are fighting terrorism, we are fighting banditry, we are fighting kidnapping, but there's no decisive measure being taken to address it. We begin to ask more questions, you know, because these people they're not spirit, you know. When the Benin government requested for assistance militarily, we went there in a jiffy, you know, and quash it. But we find it very difficult in our country to address the matter of insecurity.
Talking about military matters, I don't know if it's here, but let's take this call from Uche calling us from Abia State. Good morning, Uche. Good morning,
Uche. Please go ahead.
No, the audio is not. Uche, we're sorry. Please try and drop call and call back if you can. Winger, you were trying to make a point.
Yeah, we saw a leaked memo from the Office of the National Security Advisor to the Chief of Army Staff requesting promotion of the ADC of Mr. President to the rank of Brigadier General. Have you seen that memo and report? And if in case it turns out to be factual, what would you make of it? This will be his second promotion in 2 years. It was a lieutenant colonel 2 years ago. Knowing the chain of command and how things work in the military, you can't get, even in wartime, you can't get that much rapid promotion in 2 years. Yes, from lieutenant colonel to brigadier general because of the president's. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
We'll wait for further clarification on that.
Okay. So let's still take other stories this morning. On the front page of the Vanguard, we still see that 1 week after NAF C-130 aircraft, 11 soldiers yet to be released.
Still grounded in Bobo
They're
Dioulasso.
still in Burkina Faso, and this is a situation where they had said clearly this happened just after the situation with the coup, the failed coup in Benin Republic. And then these aircraft said they had an emergency landing in Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso's government says they did not give them clearance to land in their country. Now here we are with 11 people being arrested. Standoff. But we'll come back to that. Let's hear from Godwin, who's calling from Anambra State. Good morning, Godwin. Hello, Godwin. Good morning. How is Anambra State this morning?
Anambra State is very okay.
All right. Please go ahead with your comment.
The one thing we know is that Anambra State is fine this morning.
It's okay. At least we're happy with that one. Okay, so yes, let's get your thoughts on the 11 soldiers that are still held by the Burkinabe government.
When President Obasanjo was in charge, and Charles Taylor refused to leave, refused to remain in Liberia. The US and the UN approached Obasanjo. Try and see what you can do to make sure Charles Taylor leave Monrovia. Obasanjo was very active, very consequential, making sure Charles Taylor leaves. To the extent that Nigeria presidential jet right, flew to Monrovia. The Nigerian presidential jet was on CNN, was live on CNN for more than 30 minutes. The whole world was watching it.
We promised him amnesty.
Absolutely.
But
until
what happened later?
Chancellor leaves. He left. That was Nigeria for you. You know, now,
but after he left, you've not completed the story.
No, that's not the point. The fact is that I'm heading somewhere. Chancellor left. Because even apart from Chancellor, Cape Verde president was in Nigeria for ECOWAS summit. And I was a coup. But they just told the coupist. My friend, leave that place. If you don't leave that place, you watch out. They surrendered, and about to just follow the Cape Verde president back to Sotoma Principe.
That's Obasanjo, former president.
But now we have a different scenario. We don't have a strong leader.
No, we threatened the coupists in Benin. They left.
That is my opinion.
Or they were chased out.
That is my opinion. If Nigeria had, if you have a strong leader, right? When we talk, people listen. Burkina Faso. You can imagine Burkina Faso. And I'm worried. I don't know why we've not been able to find a way out.
All right, let's
dramatically.
Uche has been on the line for a while. Uche called back. Let's quickly speak with Uche and then we'll come back to the conversation. Good morning, Uche. Welcome back. Please go ahead.
This issue of defection we are talking about. Hello, are you with me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, the issue of defection. The problem we are having here is that the system is not transparent. Are they telling us, I mean the governors, that if the system is transparent, will they, defect to a ruling party? There is a saying that goes this way. Self-confidence makes a man. Do they have confidence in themselves? That's the question Nigerians will be asking the governor. Our system, do they trust the system? It shows that they don't trust the system. Nigerian voters should shine their eyes because what we are going to see in 2027, the president is not talking about targeting. One of the ruling party members are talking about targeting, which means I'm saying that the issue of targeting is going to be a problem. INEC should be careful because if they are not careful, I don't see how 2027 is going to be transparent. That is the issue. Governors do not trust it. They don't trust the system. How can Nigerians trust the system if our governors do not trust the system? That is the question we'll be asking them. God bless you people.
God bless you too. Thank you very much, Uche, for that.
Uche is very consistent in intervening, in interventions, The program I also appeared on Silverboard, on Channels TV, Uche calls all the time. You see, what you say, you say, there's no way you can have a democracy without free and fair elections. You can only have free and fair elections if INEC is independent. And for the look of things, Uche's worry is that it will be difficult for INEC to be impartial from the look of things. And don't have a transparent, credible elections to affect the country's image.
But why can't we put systems in place? We speak about INEC, like INEC is a personality, is a human being. If we put the structures and the technology and the systems in place, can INEC not be truly independent and impartial?
In many countries,
with a strong judiciary also?
Even in Africa, INEC is not appointed by the president or by the National Assembly.
It's independent.
So if the president is the one appointing INEC and a figurehead-led National Assembly is endorsing it, you cannot guarantee fair elections.
But the president didn't write the constitution. It didn't start with him.
No, the president didn't write, but the president appointed the guy. I was thinking that this guy should be more concerned about the future of democracy in Nigeria by making sure that the chairman of INEC is not appointed by the president. Because he who pays the piper
dictates the tune.
Ultimately, dictates the tune.
But let's take this call from Emeka from Lagos. Good morning, Emeka. Go ahead and make your contribution, please.
Emeka, are you with us?
Can you hear us? No.
Good morning, Emeka. Okay, I think we lost that call from Emeka. When I heard the name Emeka, I was expecting him to call from Iweka. road. But it's coming from Lagos. So let's get on with our story. I want Joe to take this particular story because, I mean, it's shocking. And we saw this during the course of our broadcast. Yes, on the Vanguard. The sleaze at NMDPRA. The allegations, very weighty.
I don't know if you follow the story, though. Dangote is... Dangote is taking on many roles.
Speaking a lot.
And now he's taking on the role of a whistleblower.
No, people like that is okay. There's no way we will listen.
Exactly.
And those authority will listen. And that is why the papers gave it a lot of space in their...
Well, and look at the story. He said...
okay, when you finish, let's take
He said NMDPRA boss, Farouk Ahmed, made a payment of $5 million for secondary school education of the children.
In Switzerland.
In Switzerland, $5 million. And we know that when Dangote speaks, he doesn't just speak. He's actually a public and respected business icon, not just in Africa, but globally. And I don't think he will want to mess himself up with dirty waters. So when he's speaking, he's
also demanding a
Now, he said from Sokoto, where he comes from, people are struggling to pay 100,000 naira for school fees. A lot of children are at home, not going to school because of 100,000 naira. Cannot understand why somebody who has worked all his life in government and he has 4 children whose school fees he has just paid $5 million for.
So if you can pay $5 million school fees, imagine how much you have in reserve. And I mean, it's not like you inherited some money from somewhere. You've been in public service all your life. So
how did you get that
money? And he's still in his job as we speak this Monday morning.
This Monday morning, yes. He's sipping maybe tea or coffee or somewhere.
I think because this man is not frivolous, Dangote, I'm sure people in authority are listening. And the matter will be investigated. Is that the kind of thing that EFCC
not people that are spraying money.
Not politicians that are against the government.
Or people that are spraying money.
The people are spending money.
No, spraying.
You go and meet them, publicize it. That the people that are eating money.
Doesn't this...
I always believe, you see, everyone, that's my opinion, that NMPC accounts are not well edited.
Completely.
They are not well audited because all the time, you see, this also amount not limited to the CBN, blah, blah, blah. It's getting late. It's one of the things that the government should look at.
Where's the 2.1?
That does not talk anyhow.
Yes, it doesn't. What the 2.1 trillion naira that we saw last week missing? We're still looking for that. There's also some monies that were missing during the Mini Kyari's time in the NNPC as a boss, GMD. We have not seen that money. He was invited by the EFCC. We have not heard anything from it.
When you look at all these things, you begin to worry about that future. Nigeria is probably the only country that is producing oil. That you get its oil, this stolen, but not state actors. Now what Peter Obi said at the weekend, they will just remove it without anybody giving it down. It's very funny to me. And I look at what this man is saying now.
What sort of response do you expect?
A lot of rot.
What sort of response and actions do you expect from the government? Because these are...
From the president.
So the man can be arrested immediately. There's nothing like action. What are you telling me? That would make some allegations. Look at the allegations. Invite the man to EFCC and protect him for goodness sake. What are we talking about?
Switzerland.
These are Commonwealth. There's a messing up with
Switzerland.
Dangote said,
go and read Peter Obi's statement on the weekend.
Dangote said he must appear before the Code of Conduct Bureau. By the way, the president has increased the budget money
exponentially.
High. Conduct of Conduct Bureau used to have 5 million. Now they have 20.
I think it's
20.
Look at Norway. Look at Saudi Arabia. Even the disrepute Venezuela. They want to manage their resources. What is wrong with us? We have this oil and we're not managing it well. People are just stealing it.
Is it a curse?
And the government, I don't know.
It's just poor leadership.
And the government is looking their place.
But why is this?
The man caught on polo, taking the contract to protect it. What are we talking about?
But why is the school fees so expensive? I mean, how much is it to send your children?
I'm not thinking about these things.
Binga, you're even going. So this $5 million that Alhaji Dangote has come out to say, one person, MD of Nigeria's biggest oil and gas, it's now a public enterprise.
Do you know that under Buhari,
Yes.
a contractor was telling the governor that they are tired of receiving money.
I remember that. I remember that story.
Something that is not important.
I remember that story.
They will go and
I remember that story.
It will be signed, they collect money.
I remember that story. In short, I remember that story.
And people are suffering, you are increasing fuel,
Yes.
and you are increasing borrowing, and you leave everything, all these loopholes on. What are we talking? Are we serious?
What does it say about the
Now, the
president?
National Assembly, like Akpabio, and the other co-travelers, Alibaba, the 40 chiefs, doing nothing about it.
Mr. Aruna, do you remember the time the current president of the Nigerian Senate was invited? Then it was the NDDC boss. And the incidents of off your mic.
Absolutely.
And he was pointing fingers that some of you are the ones who collect contracts.
Yes.
And a woman who was a member of the Senate was saying, I don't understand, can you explain further? Her colleagues were touching her
Yes.
that, don't ask those kind of
I mean, the
questions.
sleaze
Don't ask those kind of, she was like, I don't understand, can you explain? He said, should I
lot.
explain
That place
that
is
some
full
of
of
you
rot
here are
and
the ones
corruption.
who are, so it's like the corrupt, so you can't even,
You have 4 refineries. Ladies and gentlemen, 4 refineries in Nigeria. They are not working.
moribund.
Corruption. And this man is spreading, where do get money from?
So at the end of the day, he has called them out, and some people will say, "Oh, he's being petty and he's being bitter."
So we
But
have
the
a lot
truth
of
is,
problems.
the number
This-
of people have tried to frustrate his business.
And that's what Fela said.
It is his
Fela
business,
said-
but it has been helpful to
But I
Nigerians.
said, now, party government, we do.
And Dangote also,
Many years ago.
he also said that that the drug mafia is not a mafia. That they've lost over $80 million worth
How
of
can they be taking this
things
thing?
since it started operation. I mean,
Just last week, they said one of Nigeria own tanker was seized.
In America, by Donald Trump. We stolen, and the US seized that, and they said it's one of the oldest.
That's a big problem.
It's one of the oldest, and normally we're expecting that by now the anti-graft agency would have swung into action,
Then who's involved?
come out and put a press
Who owns
release.
this thing?
Because with that tanker
Everything
now,
about it.
if you shake hands with the United States, you can trace who and where it came from.
Everything.
Who cleared them?
Presidential candidate 2023 Peter Obi said there is no way that a tanker would leave
That they will say they
without
don't know.
having tracking to track
The
it and know
Navy,
where it's coming
police,
from.
all of them.
Okay.
It's a joint venture
Let's
of corrupt people fleecing the country.
let's take a few
And the government is
comments
helpless.
from YouTube.
Are they really helpless, or they are just?
I
really wish.
Or the government is corrupted.
Or could it be a case that maybe you have
party.
your friends there, so you can't really do anything? If you do it, you
You know
expose
what?
them.
We'll get back to this if we have
I
time.
want us to
But
take a few
we
comments
need
on
to.
YouTube so we can wrap up here. In regards to this, we see Yahaya Bello is jumping around freely like he doesn't have a case.
was
with
going
the
there.
EFCC.
Same school
Mokoye
issue.
Chukwemeka says, I mean, if you're saying now that this man should be investigated for paying $5 million for his 4 children in secondary
One of it.
Just
Yeah.
one.
So-
One among the others, among the
Plenty.
loot.
Yes, and that's just one. So what is the guarantee that the EFCC will do a thorough job is what is asking
Absolutely.
here. Annie Chinedu Brown says, Habib Aruna, God will continue to bless you for speaking truth to power. We also have here another person, Larry Oloyede, who says, God bless you, Mr. Habib Aruna, for saying the truth to power. Annie Chinedu Brown also says, if is our president, I can't call that, I'm so sorry. He basically was inferring that if we had minded our business without interference in what was happening in Benin Republic, we would have avoided this national embarrassment, and saying, why didn't he dispatch fighters when Mali, Niger Republic, Burkina Faso had their coup? This is in reference to the story of, the soldiers that are still being held in Burkina Faso. But that's all that we can take now. And that's all that we can take on the papers this
Unfortunately,
morning. Very
that the
unfortunate.
government that cannot protect our oil, our resources,
Okay.
is now increasing the pains on the people in terms of taxes and other good and services that are becoming.
But I mean, we're going to stay on the issue. We have to follow up. We'll talk to the people that we can talk to. This will not be swept under the carpet.
Immediately
Nigerians need to know what is going on.
Okay, I want us to talk about, let's move to Rivers State if
PDRA.
possible.
We're out of time because of Benga's Which Way Nigeria.
I think we'll take that on
we'll just
Wednesday.
maybe you could just take a Which Way Nigeria,
Okay.
and then we come back, all right?
We'll take a quick break and then it'll be time for Which Way Nigeria. Flying inside Nigeria is fast becoming a luxury, not a convenience. A return ticket that cost a few tens of thousands of naira 2 years ago now reads like the down payment for a used car. On major routes, Lagos to Abuja, Abuja to Owerri, and other fares in mid-December are routinely in the hundreds of thousands of naira, with peak dates single fares quoted as high as 480,000 to 814,000 naira on some routes. The pain is real, widespread, and immediate. Yes, demand has increased. Insecurity on our roads has pushed people into the skies. When highways feel like ambush corridors, flying becomes a survival choice, not a luxury. But increased demand does not justify unchecked pricing. It explains pressure, not exploitation. Airlines will tell you their costs have exploded. Dollar-denominated leases, jet fuel price and foreign currency, multiple taxes, airport charges, insurance, maintenance, all real. But here's the problem. Every burden in Nigeria somehow finds its way to the citizen, fully loaded with interest. There is no shock absorber, no protection, no sense of balance. Then there is corruption or the lack of it. On certain routes, the same prices appear across different airlines at the same time. It's like a choreographed dance. Regulators are now investigating possible price fixing, and rightly so, because when a few operators control limited capacity, the market stops disciplining greed. Government says fares are deregulated. Fine, but deregulation does not mean abdication. You cannot wash your hands while the market burns passengers alive. If government cannot fix prices, it can fix conditions. So what must be done now? First, temporary relief. Cut airport charges and aviation taxes during peak travel periods and enforce pass-through. If airlines get relief, Nigerians must feel it on their tickets, not read about it in press statements. Second step is radical transparency. Break down ticket prices. Let Nigerians know how much is fuel, how much they're paying for taxes, how much is profit. Sunlight restrains excess. And third, expand capacity and competition. Fast-track approvals, open constrained routes, and punish collusion decisively. Markets only work when choice exists. And finally, the bigger picture. Nigeria must stop running aviation on crisis mode. We need local maintenance facilities, naira-based financing, predictable charges, and long-term planning, because resilience is not accidental, it's designed. Flying should not feel like robbery at 30,000 feet. Fix the system. Good morning, Nigerians.
Flying should indeed not feel like robbery at 30,000 feet. Let's have your thoughts as we wrap up.
Absolutely.
This.
No, it should not be. You know, in my last vacation, I don't realize that it's far cheaper to fly in the US than Nigeria. Why?
Domestically. Yeah.
Domestic, no, internationally. One of my friends bought a ticket from Texas to Nigeria. It was far cheaper than what we are paying in Nigeria. So I like that the way you ended that, your remarks. Fantastic. Well read, well written, well delivered. Full stop, period.
Fix it. We know it's deregulated, but there are low-hanging things that they can change.
And Dima was telling us, Kayamo, last week, that they cannot control it.
No.
But they can.
Nama will collect tax.
That's their job.
Fine will collect tax.
We are government. You can't be helpless. Your job is to come manage it so that we will not feel it to our bones. You know, it's becoming too worrisome.
It is.